to change attitude with Dashley.
Hello everyone, I'm Daseny and I welcome you to this week's episode of a-tetewithdaseny with Daseny. So if you're ready, I am ready and I hope you'll enjoy today's ride. So my guest, the last time I had her on a-tetewith, she was a miss and now she's a missus. I have with me Mrs. Olohita Osaho on today's program. A very good evening to you, ma'am.
Good evening.
My first question is, how do you feel as a new bride?
I feel fine. Like, I'm happy, right? But I know someone, after like a month or two, she was like, later, so I'm married like that. And I still feel like myself now. So, I don't think it's abnormal. But I'm happy. I'm not happy.
Okay. All right. So, just walk us through the process. How was the planning? No, it was when the heat was hot. I wanted to hear from you because like you're the bride and you know the pressure is more on the bride. So share your experience.
Okay. Everything put together, I think that God was merciful to me. I didn't have as much pressure as most people would have, right? And not because of anything. I think I was just favored. Early on, one of my friends had said something to actually during her wedding, and she was just saying she prayed that she won't be a stressed bride, you know. And I kind of keyed into that, and I used to repeat that prayer from time to time. Then something else my husband now shared early on helped me. I can't remember what we were talking about, and he said this is not necessarily the best. Do you understand? We're having a growth mentality.
Yes.
Like, this is going to be an awesome, amazing celebration. I'm not going to get it again, but it's not necessarily the best. And I think one of the things that causes this terrible amount of pressure is that feeling of a woman is going to be the most beautiful she will ever be in her life on her wedding day. She's going, like, so the celebration has to be the biggest. Do you understand? That kind of approach, I think, brings a real amount of pressure because you are now like, what hairstyle is the hairstyle that will be the most beautiful? Do you understand? What makeup is going? So that thing is said, that perspective, right? I think so. Of course, you know that I can't say everything that happened, right? Yeah. I'm trying to share some things that I think that were key things that helped me. So one was that prayer, God help me not to be a stressful bride. Two was that reminder that, look, this is going to be very good. I'm not looking for how to make the rest of my life inside this. So I was able to approach many decisions from a more relaxed. I was still tense, so I was still so now I'm saying relaxed does not mean I didn't care. Another thing that helped me was God surrounded me with a lot of people. In fact, on the day of the wedding, that was just one thing I just kept. I'm like, God, who am I that, you know, so many people are rising up for me? Do you understand? So to the extent that I was not stressed, it's not because there was no stress. It's because there were people that carried this stress for my sake. There were people that looked like rag so that I can look good. Do you understand? And these were not people that I don't know. These are people that I know that sacrifice their time, sacrifice their energy, I'm sure there's some things I won't even know.
Okay. So now, while planning for the wedding, what were those heart attack moments?
Heart attack
moment that you had?
The first one that I had, I was trying to be sensible and wise. I said, okay, you know what? I'll try and see if I can get Ashwebi from Lagos because it's cheaper. Things are cheaper there. But I was going there with my mind that the place is like just where I can go, I can see what I want. But as bad, I'll drop some money. They'll hold what I want down for me. I can come and pick it. Oh, I got there. Oh, I heard a different story entirely. Apparently, they say if you don't have money,
you cannot.
In fact, the people that I went with said, see, the way these people are, you really should drop money. If they see somebody else that has money, they will give the person, then they will tell you that they will order your own. And you know the story of Ashwebi. If you don't pick first batch, second batch is always different.
Different from the first, it's true.
So in short, I couldn't do what I wanted to do because we had funds of an issue.
Yes.
Now, eventually we got to Jos. After looking and looking and looking, we now got someone to do this for us. To cut a very long story short, it came much later than we expected. And it was looking like, I don't know, at first glance, it was just like, this thing is terrible. Because what I wanted, that's what I thank you. It was just clearly that color was different. It looked like quality was different. And it's just like, oh my God, that day, me, my parents, everybody, we were just like, oh, what are we going to do? After people have paid, it will not look as if maybe we were trying to cheat them. We did not even see the money. This money that we are discussing, we did not drop this money inside. As they gave money, we gave to the vendor and all that. And we just kept praying. That was definitely definitely
heart attack.
The biggest heart attack moment, I would say. Another, I think, definite heart attack moment was when there was someone that we ordered from, right? Ordered small things. She too. In fact, it was on my wedding day that those things arrived in Lagos.
Oh my
not
God.
Here.
Wow.
So in short, we had to find a different arrangement.
Your substitute.
Those are the two I think that stand out. But most of all is that in all these things, God brought wisdom.
Okay. So while before, during, and after the wedding, what was that moment that stood out for you?
I think the time I would use is during the wedding, right?
Okay.
Which is, I remember sitting down in the hall and just looking. And the first question I said, is it me, or is this place looking quieter and more orderly than weddings normally? It's in my mind. And in that moment, right, I was seeing that God was answering, like God answered many prayer points, big and small. And I was so overwhelmed, right, of God. I was overwhelmed by two things. One is by the fact that there were some things that I had asked God, some things I had not asked God in secret. Small things, or some small, some big. And so, I think that's the moment, I'll say that one of the moments, seeing in a moment God answering so many prayers, and really the sacrifice of people, it's really got to me.
Wow. So if you were to advise upcoming brides, you know you've left the single veil. So if you were to advise upcoming brides, what would you?
Number one, please help people, especially with their weddings. Okay. When you help people, right, it helps you see some things and you will learn. As another bride is struggling, it will help, like, I don't know how to put it, helping people but has too much. Number one, you have blessing for it to stop, right? Number two is the fact that, you will be seeing what causes problem. You'll be seeing what causes problem. It will help you guide against it. Definitely, know how, but some things can come up that we don't expect, because that's how events are. Yes. But it will help you guide against some big things. Number two, God has a way of when you give, God always sees to it that you are paid. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to say that they were paying me, because I actually feel some of the things I got, but it's not even just me. Okay. Do you understand? There are so many people in my life. Me, my husband, and my parents, his parents. Yes. Do you understand? There are people who give. There are people who sacrifice for others. So I feel like it's combined blessing that I was seeing. It's not even like maybe me now. Alone. I am a...
So in a nutshell, the bride should be a giver.
Not just a giver. Learn to sacrifice. Well, everything is not about what do I get. Okay. Give.
Just let go. Just give. Without even thinking of.
Learn to give without. Yes, and give unto God. That's one. Third one, don't take your wedding bar as the all in all. Plan for it. Plan to enjoy it. Dream about it. I didn't used to dream about but dream about. I'm just saying. So when wedding came, when marriage came, that I started saying, oh, what do I actually want? And it will help if you have a picture in your mind
of what you want.
So please dream and all of that.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot a question. If you were to go back and plan this whole wedding thing, what are those things that you take out or you add to it?
The only thing I would add, like I said, I would dream. ahead. I would say this is what I want because
Interesting.
I found that before the pressure became high,
Yes.
that was when it was a good time to say, oh, I like pink, I don't like green, I like this. If you are choosing a color like cockroach brown, right, this is what I would say. If you want to pick a psychedelic, very off, as in very unique color, right, it's good to match it with a common color. So for me, I use blush pink, which nobody used to know, and wine.
Okay.
The mistake I made was I now wanted to make blush pink the general color. So in my opinion, there's nobody that says choose the color you like, but if you know the color you're choosing is not a
Complicated.
make that color to be like for maybe your parents, what only your parents will wear, what like only small number of people, so that you don't have to look for too much for it, so that you not go through a lot like me.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Mrs. Oloitai Omonibe Osaho. We look forward to having you more on Tete. Thank you so much for granting us this interview.
You're welcome.
To have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. You've heard it from the bride, like in a nutshell. Just be good, do good, and you reap the fruit of your labor. Thank you. Bye-bye.